Good morning, Nerdfighteria. It's Friday. As some of you may remember, a few weeks ago I visited the Great Smoky Mountains National Park on the border of Tennessee and North Carolina. It's the most visited national park in the United States, attracting over 11 million people each year, and it's easy to see why. These mountains are full of history, culture, and biodiversity. Even the trail you're seeing right now has its own unique story. Now called the Road Prong Trail, it follows the path of an old Cherokee trail once named Indian Gap. In the 1830s, it was turned into a toll road used by farmers, merchants, and even soldiers during the Civil War. For hundreds, if not thousands of years, this was the main route for crossing the mountains. Today, the trail ends at a parking lot, where it intersects with the famous Appalachian Trail, which stretches along the mountains from Georgia all the way to Maine. But let's go back even further in history, way before humans, to when the mountains were first forming. The oldest rocks in the Smokies are gneiss, granite, and schist that is over 1 billion years old. Back when an ocean covered the area, they were formed by the accumulation of marine sediments and igneous rocks. However, most of the rocks are 800 to 545 million years old and are known collectively as the Ocoee supergroup. Also sedimentary, they were formed as the continental shelf eroded. There are some even younger sedimentary rocks, such as sandstone, shale, and limestone, that were formed about 450 million years ago at the bottom of a shallow sea. Some of these even contain fossils. Most of the sedimentary rocks were metamorphosed under extreme heat and pressure when the mountain range was formed, 310 to 245 million years ago, as what are now North America and Africa collided to form the supercontinent Pangaea. Pangaea eventually broke apart, but the mountains remained, being constantly worn down by ice, wind, and water. Once, the Appalachians would have resembled the Himalayas or the Rockies, but time has eroded them into the rolling green silhouette that is so familiar today. Now for the life. The Smoky Mountains are part of an international biosphere reserve and contain one of the most diverse ecosystems on the planet. There are countless species that are found nowhere else in the world. The most iconic animal of the Smokies is of course the black bear, but I'm going to focus on a different story, which is that of the elk. Elk were once found all over the southeast, including in the Appalachians, but the last eastern elk disappeared from North Carolina in the late 1700s and from Tennessee by the mid-1800s. They were gone forever from the region. Until 2001, that is, when the National Park Service reintroduced a herd of 25 animals to the park. In 2002, another 27 were added. Today, there are around 200 elk in and around the Smokies. I even saw some of them on my visit. It's a rare success story, and while these animals are not genetically identical to the extinct eastern subspecies, it is incredible that there are once again elk roaming these ancient valleys. No matter where you look, there's so much beauty in these mountains. After finishing the Road Prong Trail, struggling up steep hills and crossing streams using only slick rocks as stepping stones, the view at the end was nothing spectacular. There were no looming mountains, no magnificent cliffs, nothing to look forward to except the long walk back down. But in that moment, that parking lot, with the gray, wide-open sky above it, was one of the most beautiful things in the world. Despite the strenuous hike, the ominous thunder in the distance, the cars zooming past, I felt nothing but peace and joy and a deep connection to the world around me. I'll leave you with a quote from John Muir. "Climb the mountains and get their good tidings. Nature's peace will flow into you as sunshine flows into trees. The winds will blow their own freshness into you and the storms their energy, while cares will drop off like autumn leaves." Amy, I'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget to be awesome.